All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and it's that time of the year again. The time of the year when everybody can be a little more freaky, everybody can be a little more crazy.
Ooh. Yo, that makes me think. Phil, Ron, Will, Dan.
What's that?
Well, it's that time of the year, like you said, and it's, October, Halloween. It's a little creepy, right? So, in the spirit of our nerdism, there's a great app out there. It's not Netflix or any of the other ones. It's for us horror junkies. And while I can't talk, the Marvel universe like y'all, I can talk horror with the best of them. And I know Mr. Wall here, he's an aficionado because he has put me onto some movies.
The aficionado.
Woo, I see him post something for horror. I'm writing down notes like I'm in his class. And yeah, exactly. And what it segues me into, though, is a lot of the ones he gets me into were on his app for us horror fans called Shudder. If you have not checked out the app, the beautiful thing about the app is it's not that expensive. It's like, what, $4 or $5?
$5.
Right?
$5.
We're not sponsored by Shudder, but hey.
Shudder, if you're watching.
We might be one day.
Yeah.
We just plugged you, Shudder.
We do, right? But there are...
Free plug.
Free plug, right? There's a lot of...
For now.
But, for you horror nuts out there, it's a good app. There's a handful of TV shows, way more movies, but you got everything from international stuff, which I won't go too far into because I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but I always bring it up. The movie Terrified. Will, you put me on that one. Like, I feel like I need to pay you for that because that's one of my favorite movies I watched all year, and it wasn't in English. Yup. You got to watch it, and you watch it with subtitles. Like, it's the way you have to.
Yeah, I'm tough time with that.
It wouldn't be the same. Like, I've done the voiceover shows. Like, you can't do it for any of them, but especially for these horror movies. So, but the point is, before I rant too much, because this app is dope. If you're into horror, even if you just want it for a couple months, check out the Shudder app. Like I said,
for free too if you got Amazon.
Yeah, and there's a week trial. They do a week trial for free, so check it out. It's $5. Like, I had the HBO app paying $15 a month, and I was just watching horror stuff on there. I was like, why? So I was like, $5 a month for Shudder.
They don't even got near the amount.
Nah, listen, real quick. I watched Terrified. Another one Will put me on, Night Shifter. Some weird stuff. Color of Space with Nicolas Cage. That was a trippy movie.
He's still alive?
Yo, he has done so many movies the past few years. Mandy's another one he did.
This a little bit before because I said that I kind of gave up on Cage a while ago.
He's a topic alone.
I'm gonna give him another chance.
I don't know if it's because he went bankrupt. He has done so many movies.
For me, it was Ghost Rider, man. He's one of my favorite characters, man.
It's a good one. It's one of those comics I don't think everyone knows about. But yeah, on the horror tip though, I think that leads us into a couple movies. Some of us on the crew were talking about that are on the Shudder app. Like I said, I got a few of my favorites: Terrified, Night Shifter, TV show on there, Wolf Creek. But I know there's a few other dope shows and movies to check out.
Are you saying it's movie review time?
Uh-oh.
Is that what you're saying?
I think so. It feels like it.
Because I need some horror movies to watch, man. And you're saying Shudder's have to get it for it. But what movies are on there that I can watch, Jason?
Guys, I have the best Shudder movie on the. I mean, I'm a big fan of Shudder app, but the best movie on there by far is hands down Beach House. Yeah. This movie, was like, you look at the cover and you're like, this looks kind of ominous. Like, what is this about? You think, oh, beach house. Probably some people go into a beach house. I mean, that's kind of what happens. But you're thinking like maybe like a slasher, like, when you think of a house aesthetic, you think of like something like that, maybe a possession. And you go into this movie and it's two characters. And for the first like 40 minutes, you're like, what is this movie about? It's a slow burn. So, I mean, like, if you're listening to this right now, please just stick with it, because as soon as it picks up, you're really like, and like,
40 minutes, like, dude, I gotta wait that long.
Yeah, but it's not like it's.
I got a short attention span, brother.
Listen, the tension during the 40 minutes. I mean, from the beginning, the tension between characters is phenomenal, right? And then she is, but she smokes cigarettes. That's out for me. Doesn't matter. It's the tension. The tension is like it's thick the entire time, and then there's two other people get introduced, And that's all I'll say about that. But they're all in this beach house together, and it's amazing because the cast is probably a total of 4 people and like 4 maybe extras that are like barely in it. And it starts with tension, and then when the actual situation hits, like when the problem happens, when the horror's going down, you're like, what is this? It's like something that you've never seen before, and to think about it, the intelligence of the idea and the uniqueness of the idea is next level. And it's really showing what horror's been doing recently with movies like Midsummer, Hereditary,
It's
Us.
original. You know what I mean? They didn't try to copy off something somebody else did a long time ago.
So, okay, so Dan, can I ask you a quick question? Because I'm the who watches horror movies with his kids. My kids are very well-rounded people. Okay, they're very well-rounded, so don't judge my parenting skills. Will my kids like it? Like my kids love Freddy, Jason, all those people. Well, I'm gonna
say this: it had the most terrifying scene of 2020 of the 2020 horror movies. That it gave me chills. Now I don't know how younger kids are. I
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But there's a scene that's towards the end of the film, and I'm not going to say anything else about it. But when it happens, the feeling that I got was just absolute terror. Like I felt this character was like, I felt like I was there, and I was like, Jesus, I'm scared. Like, please help me.
It's like that.
Gives you some anxiety.
The situation is so helpless, and it's just like.
Oh yeah, that was an anxious movie.
The type of horror that it is, I mean, not only is the storyline plot point specific unique, but the category, the subcategory it's under is almost one that you've never seen, really.
Is it like Terrifier, you think, man? Like how Terrifier was great to me.
Okay, well, listen, I started a timer for 3 minutes, so I didn't go too far over. But we're not gonna compare this. We're not gonna compare this movie to Terrifier because Terrifier was the only thing that was terrifying about it was the movie itself and that it was created. The beach house is intelligent horror. It is not stupid. It's not something just to like sit there and watch in the background. It is something that grasps you and takes you all the way. And me and Will have named it this type of horror movie, crescendo type horror, because the movie just starts here. And it's like an ominous opera, though. Not opera. What is those things called where people play all the instruments? What is that? An orchestra.
Oh, orchestra.
It's like an ominous orchestra, and it's just like the entire movie is just straight. It's going up, 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 and then it ends on a high note. Like it's not like it's not like it's like it ends and you're just like. I mean, it is a thing, but if you pay attention to the context of what the characters are talking about, the ending actually makes sense.
Yes,
and it doesn't end like down here. It is up, 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 and then it stops.
Is there like is there something like is there a movie from the past that reminds you of? You know what I mean, or is it pretty much it's its own thing?
I would say that I can't even compare it to the one movie that it might have a similar idea to because that movie was so garbage in comparison. But it's just something that you haven't seen before, and it's something that you might think is like kind of like stupid if I were to say the topic. So I don't want to give it away because you're going to be like, it's going to really take you and make you think about things that are horrifying that you don't actually think about. You might change some of your daily habits due to this horror movie.
You're hyping this up.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't. I'll be honest. I would have never watched this movie. You guys didn't put me on to it. And I watched it, and I was like, "Yo, this was the John, yo." And I went to the beach like a week later. And I don't want to give too much away, but like. There was a fog at the beach, and like, when you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about.
All right, is that the movie I watched this weekend?
It's time to go, yo.
Hey, I got nothing going on tomorrow night. Is that what I'm watching, Will? Is that what I'm watching?
Yeah, that's what you're watching. I think it might be. I don't know, how old are your kids?
No, dude, I'm bad. I'm a bad parent. We watch some really crazy
it's not the content.
We watch some really bad stuff, dude.
Eddie Murphy
10 and 11.
When I was 8.
10 and 11, but they've been watching. They're like 3 and 4, dude. Like,
it's more so.
I'm bad.
It's more so the intelligence level of the movie is very high. It's not like the content isn't like too bad for a child to watch. It's not. In all honesty, there is great gore.
Well, see, the thing is, like, I want to keep their attention. Like I want to keep their attention because if I don't keep their attention, like, I'm bored. You know what I mean? Like,
I think what Dan's saying is it's not that bad, and you've probably already messed your kids up worse. So you're good. You're good. You're good, bro.
Beach
house isn't gonna make it
like
worse.
Jay
We're
hit
gonna
the nail
watch this weekend
on the head.
We're watching. Will, is that the movie to watch?
That's your weekly nail on the head.
You guys are going to be a mountain vacationing family from now on. You're not going to the beach.
All right, Will, what's your movie, man?
All right, so Dan, that was excellent. And to your point, as of right now, The Beach House is the best movie on Shudder, hands down. All right, so kudos to that. However, next week, a movie by the name of The Cleansing Hour will be released on Shudder. And this, my friends, in my opinion, is the greatest horror movie of the decade.
Oh,
I know.
I like the title.
I never heard that before, so now I'm like...
Decade.
For me, it's. I feel like it follows. When that hit the scene, it was the most talked about horror movie in so long, and what it did, it brought something new and fresh to the genre. It revitalized the genre. The Cleansing Hour is about to do the same, and I'm gonna explain why. So, Cleansing Hour is actually a movie from 2016. It's been, and for its time, this doesn't give away too much. You can even see this in the poster for the movie. It's primarily about live streaming. In 2016, live streaming was a thing, but it wasn't everything. Now, live streaming is a part of daily life for everyone, so this movie is relevant. So now it's being released.
We're kind of doing it right now.
I don't want to say too much about it without spoiling anything, but this movie is so well put together. It also has a crescendo effect that Dan talked about, where it's just constantly elevating where it's going. And the way that I describe this movie is as horror fans, if Dan and I sat down and made a movie, we would make a movie as horror fans for horror fans. That's what The Cleansing Hour is. It is a movie made by guys that truly understand horror and are giving us exactly what we want. Have you ever been watching a movie and then said to yourself, I would have done this differently. I would have done this differently. These guys covered every friggin' thing.
About that.
Now, Will, let me ask you a question, man, because you're like me,
yes.
And we let our kids watch some really crazy stuff. Don't judge.
Yeah.
Did he like it? Or did he understand it? Was he cool? Because again, I have family movie night, and we watch the craziest stuff. My kids are, they're cool, man. They all right. Will my kids understand this? Will they be with it? Like, will it keep their attention?
Absolutely. It's not when I use the word crescendo, I use it a little loosely with Cleansing Hour because it is more understandable and relatable to younger crowds because it's extremely relevant with today. It's also it's constantly interweaving different things into the movie and bringing sort of like there's not a lot of undertones in the movie. You're not looking for a lot of undertones here, but everything's right in your face. And again, I got to be careful not to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything with this movie. But your kids are going to love it. All right, okay. It's not gonna bore them. They will be very interested. It has a little bit of 80s feel vibe to it.
I'm in. I'm in now. 80s horror. Let's go. Let's go.
And that's in the cinematography. All right. It's got maybe like a John Carpenter feel to it in terms of camera shots and angles.
You're making a lot of bold statements.
I know.
That is a big statement.
John Carpenter, movie of the decade. Like, really throwing like some heavy.
And by the way, it's kind of like got the look of like the face of horror guy.
So we gotta take a poll. We gotta create a poll of what movie do you want to watch the most? The Beach House or The Cleansing Hour? That's what you gotta do, man. Right?
It seems fair.
And then I think that we can all.
Well, I'm always going to be be
That's going to be our poll. That's going to be our next poll.
I've already seen The Beach House, so for me, it's going to be
a great poll.
For me, it's going to be.
I mean, and then we're going to see if.
But The Beach House was great, man.
For me, it's going to be The Beach House because I want to watch it again.
So hey guys, go and vote. I mean, we got 2 polls going to be up right now. We're going to vote for Xbox or PlayStation 5. Or
you know what's kind of
funny? He said we're going to vote.
I'd love to touch on this on the actual show is the fact that we can't create polls on Facebook right now.
Oh, we can't.
I'm not going to touch on why the fact that probably is. But you cannot create a poll on
You can't create a
Facebook
poll on
right now.
this?
Oh, wow.
Believe me, I looked there's backwards. It doesn't come up when you look, but there's backwards ways to find it. But even if you find it, it won't uplift.
Well, if you want to comment on the show, say what movie
I wasted like an hour
one
trying to do it, by the way.
Say what show you're going to watch. Say what game system you're going to watch. It's going to help us out. We'll determine who the winner is of this epic movie.
Now, what we can do is we'll do that stuff like other people do, you know what I mean? Where you put 2 pictures up, like for one.
Oh, yeah.
Heart for one.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, both you guys sold me on this. I might have a horror movie marathon on Saturday night. I mean,
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, I might have to reinstall my Shudder.
Is it worth the $5?
That I just canceled last month.
I know, because like I saw Creepshow already, and I already saw something, and I got
For the time of the year, yeah.
To be fair, though,
If you're only going to keep it for a month or two, and especially for this time of the year, it adds a little extra value.
Not only that, though, but it does have all the classics, too. So don't forget about that, too. Like all the old movies that you want to, like, if you're just a classic horror fan, and that's what you want to watch, that's all there.
They got Chud. They got like 17 Vincent Price movies on there right now. They have a genre that I can't get into, but everybody loves. What is that called? What is the thing I hate? Italian slasher films. What are they called?
There's a whole genre of that?
Is it really?
Yeah, Dario Argento movies.
I feel like this is a setup for a punchline.
No, it's not. I wish it was. Oh my God!
That's not a joke. You're serious?
Oh
my God!
This is good.
But
I literally thought that was a setup for like a joke.
No, I wish it was.
There are Italian slasher movies. And that's like
Giallo. They're called.
Giallo.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes.
And they are.
Yeah.
It's a big category, and there are some. They're considered some of the greatest slasher films of all time. Yeah. I don't like them because I don't like the way they're filmed. They're filmed very Alfred Hitchcocky, and I wasn't a fan of his. I wasn't a fan of his like cinematography.
Hitchcock's not even Italian.
What?
So Hitchcock's not even Italian.
Nope.
I know he was like probably. What was he?
I don't know.
He was a fat man.
German?
Unless there was an I at the end of that name that he cut off.
White man with a big belly.
Alfred Hitchcocky.
He was afraid of birds.
The Birds was a great film.
I don't know. I heard he was like a really disturbed person.
Probably was.
Beyond the disturbing things that you would assume he probably was.
He was English. I had to look it up. He was English. That was my second guess. English.
Jolly old bloke, wasn't he?
Okay.
All right, good. Yeah. All right. So we have the movies to review. Guys, which one are you going to watch? You pick what we're going to watch. We'll review it, and we'll talk about it.
I'm going with Cleansing Hour.
I'm going with the audience. I'm going to do both, but I want you guys to...
Once again, it's because I've already seen Beach House.
You can watch them both.
Yeah, watch them both, but we'll take a poll to see which one you guys are more interested in. I mean,
I'm like brutally, I have to be honest.
Yeah, you really are, man. You
I don't know why I do it.
You suck. We're trying to get sponsors, man, for both these places.
I've already seen it. And to be fair, everybody, I already thought Xbox sucked beforehand.
Now we got a special for the fans watching. What do we talk about next week? Do we talk about the MCU or the phenomenon of Cobra Kai? Ooh. I think that's good. I think you guys should pick that.
I already know a special
MCU. Oh, we got a special guest in mind
that we could bring in for the Cobra Kai.
We all know MCU
literally.
Cobra Kai.
The biggest fan of Cobra Kai that there is.
And it's going to be just on Cobra Kai.
Our guy.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out on the Cobra Kai.
I already know.
We'll call him Double C.
Already dead.
We'll call him Double C for right now. He knows who he is if he's watching.
I like to call him Clams. That's how I like to call him. But yeah, so you guys are going to vote on which one, Cobra Kai, or we talk about the MCU?
MCU, get the Cobra Kai. Come on.
Oh, dude. Are you serious? How can you not talk about that show?
Listen,
my name is 27.
My name.
I forgot.
I can't believe I just got insulted for being young and beautiful.
Yes, you did. Damn right.
Of course you did, by all the old dudes.
All jealous dudes.
It won't be the last time.
Nope.
I am Danielson. All right, that is my name legally, and I just don't get why they made that show.
Oh my god!
Oh,
we have a lot to talk about next
Refer to
show.
Phil's last comment.
We are out of
Like,
time
really
tonight, I think.
My
folks.
head hurts, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna end on that note. I think.
Oh man.
That's a good note to end on, because Christ.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah,
why Dan
we're gonna end on it though, but how can they find us, right?
He
We're maybe on
offers
Facebook right
the
now.
opposite
We're on
perspective.
Facebook. We're on
which is
Yeah, there's something I
much
gotta
fun.
do real quick because of that statement.
We're on Facebook. We're gonna have a
Wow.
Twitter account soon.
Made him walk
Ronnie
away.
P145 on Twitter. Campbell, what's your Twitter account, man?
I don't have a Twitter account, but you can find me nerding out on Facebook. I got a page, Tech Dad J. I do a lot of nerdy tech stuff, man. I fly drones. I do all kinds of crazy stuff. So
Dan, what's your Twitter account, man? The guy who's Cobra Kai. Give us your Twitter. Follow us on Twitter,
I have
guys.
a Twitter. I'm not running for office. I have a Facebook. It's Dan Dabrowski. It's spelled Dab, and then you row, and then you ski. Very
No
simple.
Twitter, huh?
I mean,
And
you want to
I
criticize
have-
Cobra Kai again?
Our argument is between the MCU and Cobra Kai. You bring out a Thanos glove. Reel it in, Phil.
Don't make me snap.
We're gonna snap you.
Don't make me snap you.
Will, what's your Twitter handle, my man, so they can follow you?
I don't have a Twitter.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I don't have a Twitter either.
Oh my!
Come
You
on,
guys
Twitter.
are old. You guys are
Twitter.
really old.
No, I had a Twitter.
Twitter.
Yo, I had a Twitter. I literally tweeted 6 times in my life. 6.
Wow.
Count them.
next he's
I don't
gonna ask
even
you for
wanna
your
know
I think the
TikTok.
first 3 were about like week 1 of football that
You
week.
guys are old.
And I
Ron, you
first
got-
started it, and then it was like
You
once
guys
every
are
2
just
years.
Ron,
I
what's your
think I did a
TikTok?
dick
What's your
change.
TikTok,
I don't
Ron?
have TikTok.
Don't lie, Ron. You got TikTok with daughters. You know you got TikTok. I know you get on TikTok.
Yo, thanks for watching, guys. It's been great. Phil's gonna snap this out, I guess. Till next time. Same nerd time, same nerd channel. Kathleen Kennedy, I hate you!